welcome to Off to Hook Outdoors. I'm Ted, your host, and today I'm in my bait lab making a video and showing you how I use my plugs for my plastic baits. I have a bunch of these plugs, what I call, that are actually extra plastisol from the measuring cups that I use to shoot my baits. So anything extra, I save these. And today I'm going to show you what I do with all my extra plugs. So stay tuned. But before I go, I'd like you guys to, if you haven't subscribed already and you're new here, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, and also sharing us out. And if you are a follower of my channel, I'd like to thank you for stopping back in. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Alright, so here are some of the plugs that I'm talking about. These are all the colors that I have, and I have a Tupperware container that I put them all in. Over time, you gather all these and collect all these plugs, and then there's some used plastisol in the cups here. And then today I'm just going to show you what I do and how I make use of all of these after I'm actually done shooting my baits. Okay, so first thing I do when I'm getting my plugs together and seeing what I'm going to use them with and what baits I'm going to shoot with the stuff that I have is I look at the colors. And, it's sort of like a, back to school coloring project. What you got to do is you got to remember that you have colors that will work with each other. You have colors that won't work with each other. So I'll gather up the plastics that I think will work well together, and also, as you can notice, you see the glitter that's gathered in here. That usually sinks to the bottom. So what I do is I try to get the glitters that are similar or will work good together also in these plastics and combine them and make other baits. Sometimes I can do laminates with the two colors. Sometimes I can put the two colors together. And like for instance, if you have like a white, and you can see from sitting in the Tupperware that they'll bleed colors back onto it. And white and red is a pretty tough color to deal with. Like, you can see the red is dying into there. So what I'll do is I'll cut that off and I'll throw that plastic out. Blacks, obviously, if you combine all the colors together, you're going to get basically a black. But you're going to have all different kinds of glitters in there. So there's some baits that you can do that with, some baits that I don't like to do that with. And then here's like a black with the blue flake. So that'll all go towards like worms and things like that. So you got to decide on what colors you're going to use and where. So that's pretty important, because basically if you just mix colors together, you're going to get a color and glitter scheme that you're not going to like. So you got to think about it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put some colors together for you guys and show you what I'm going to do with them. So stick around. Okay, and as you all know, if you follow me and watch my videos, one of my favorite colors is the black and blue flake. So I already have a cup of plastic that's just plain black, and that's in a worm blend. And that's another thing too, when you have different blends of plastisol, you don't want to use a crawl tube for your worms, because you're not going to get the flex and everything out of the worm blend. So you got to know what plastics you used, so you can separate them in Tupperwares by labeling them and putting like all your drop shot finesse, your crawl tube blends, your swim bait blends, your finesse blends, your worm blends, any of that stuff together. If you're shooting a bait with it, I recommend you just separate them. But I can feel the plastic and pretty much know what it is, and you'll just get that over time and experience. But I have a cup of plain black here that I've used in the last couple videos and made some baits with, but I have also a plug with black and blue flake. So that will get comboed together and we'll make a bunch of worms with this. And I do have in my Tupperware here a bunch of the black and blue flake here. So I'm going to add this all into this cup here, and then we're going to chop it up, and then I'm going to make baits with this one here. Now, when you're dealing with other colors, like we have a green like a lime green, and then I also have like a watermelon with a bunch of different glitter in there. There's not much plastic in here, so I would consider taking this green, this watermelon, and mixing it with the lime green. And also we have another green pumpkin here that I would mix together, and that has the blue flake. But this has a bunch of already different color flakes in it, and blue is in this, so I'll combine this with the green here and we'll make something out of that also. Now your whites and your clears and pearls, that can take on basically any color. Like if I was going to add this purple and green with the white and silver, you could do something like that. Now it may make it a little bit lighter, then you can always go back and you can add your colorants back to it to darken it up and get it to the colors that you want. So that's how I do my thing. So let's make a few and I'll show you what I do with these. So let's get right at it. Okay, so one more thing that I wanted to show you. I have this blue ice color, and it's also it's got holographic in it, and I have a blue with silver in it. So these two will go together and it'll sort of form like a blue pearl, and we'll see how that darkens up and what I'm going to shoot. Usually this would be like swim baits, or smaller like the crappie style baits and things like that with these two colors. And like I said, you can have any bait, any color, but that's what I prefer to use. Like these lighter blues and things, you can make worms out of them, whatever you want. But you can also, like I said, darken the colors. You can add more glitter to them. So take advantage of these. Don't throw these out. This is a lot of, plastisol costs a lot of money to shoot baits and things like that and to buy. So use up everything that you have, but you got to be creative. And unfortunately, there's some colors that you can't do anything with, so that becomes the like mixed color, and you make baits like, you know, your crawfish baits and things like that that have sort of an off color. You don't even really know what color it is, but you can make baits like that. And I've caught fish on making just a random color up just by combining some. So yeah, definitely you want to use all your plugs. Okay, so before I start combining these plugs together and making a plastic, I wanted to mention a few great companies that I'd like you guys to check out. One is itMolds. Go check out itMolds. The description is in the description of the video of the company. Go over there, check them out. They have some great bait making products. They're a great company. They have a lot of different things that you can get into. They have lead molds, you know, jigs. They have buzz baits. They have all the materials for spinner baits, buzz baits, top water lures, crankbaits. They have paints to paint your lures, airbrushing, and also they have your glitters, your colorants, and your plastisol. So go check them out. itMolds has all your bait making needs at a reasonable price. And then also I'd like to thank FishAngler. FishAngler is a sponsor of my bait making contest that's coming up here real soon. So if you haven't checked that out, be on the alert for the bait making contest coming out here. I'm waiting for all the entries for the videos, and we will be doing that sometimes in June. And FishAngler has donated a bunch of prizes for that also. And then also I'd like you to check out Fishoholic. Gordy over Fishoholic, great guy, great company. They have some really great looking products. They have a lot of gear there. And right now, if you go over to www.fishoholic.com, you can save 20% if you use my code OTHO, and that's Off the Hook Outdoors, but you only have to put in the first letters of it, so it's OTHO, basically, OTHO, and you get 20% off, and that's good till June 15th for a one-time purchase. So go check them out. They're in the description of my video. Thank you, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here is the white with the red on it. So what I do is I usually just cut that red off of there, take anything off, and keep that plug there. And I'm going to throw this red, it bled into the white, and white's real hard to keep in the container, so you want to try to keep all your whites together. But there must have been a plug hitting that, and you can see how it dyed the plastic. Now you can use it in something else if you want. I just throw it away if it's not that much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut up this white, and this is the white with the silver flake in it and some holographic. So I'm going to cut that up, and you can see as it sits, all the glitter goes to the bottom of the cup. So I'm going to cut up the white, and I'm also going to put in some of this pearl clear with the silver. We're going to put that in because that'll take over the color. Will take this over. So we're going to cut this up and put that in also. And I cut it up in chunks, 1-inch chunks, you know, whatever you feel is small enough for you. So I put that in, So we're going to cut all this plastic up. And then I'm going to add basically what I believe is going to be the dominant color. And that is the purple. This is a June bug color that and it has green flake in it. So I'm going to add that to it too. We will melt this and we will see what it looks like. And then we'll have to do our sort of adding glitters or adding more colorants to it. But we got to see what it looks like first. And then we'll decide what mold we're going to use for this color. So stay with me. I'm going to melt this down and we'll be right back. Okay, so I had that in for about 2 minutes, and you can see that light purple that's happening right there. It's very light actually. So we got that white, silver, and purple in there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some purple to this. So we got the green glitters, we got the silver and holographic glitters in there with very, very light purple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of the purple to it. Oh. Okay, so we're going to take the purple and we're going to add a couple drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drops of purple. Mix that up. We'll see how that looks. It's still not as dark as I want it, so I'm going to just add a bunch more purple in here. Now purple is pretty light actually, so you guys know it's. So I'm going to dump a bunch of purple in there and we'll see what that looks like. There we go. So that's sort of like the color we want. It's like a lighter purple, but it's going to have the white in it, so it's going to be a solid color. It isn't going to be a see-through color. Now on the ends of your baits where you have like your tails and things like that, yeah, it'll be see-through. But the bait itself will be pretty solid. So we're going to go with a little bit more purple. And that should be it there, guys. So let me clean this nozzle off here. I like to keep all my stuff clean so it doesn't get all over you or the place, or all over your desk. So there we go. So that's the color of purple that we're going to use here. And I'm thinking this purple right here is probably going to be used for... I think I'm going to use the, let's see what this one is. This is a ribbon tail worm, so I'm going to use a ribbon tail worm for that. And then I'm also going to use a jerk bait. So I'm going to use the 4-inch What's It jerk bait. So we're going to do jerk bait mold and the ribbon tail mold with this color right here. Alright, I'll be right back and I'll show you how we shoot this. Okay, so the purple is ready. So we got that right here. Let me put this cup here. And we have the 2 molds in the vise. So we're going to take this, put your glove on, and we're going to fill this injector up with a bunch of plastic, and we are going to shoot our molds. So there's our jerkbait molds. Press down with constant pressure for a few seconds. Then we're going to move to the ribbon tail, shoot that one. And we're going to move back here and shoot this one. The ribbon tails don't take much plastic. And then we're going to go back. As you can see, that sort of sucks in once it cools down. So we want to make sure we fill these sprues up so that there's no denting. And it all fills out real well. So I just fill them up like so. Put the rest back in. And we'll let that sit, and we'll be back in a few minutes, probably 3 minutes, to show you the results. So these are out, and we are going to take the molds apart and show you the jerkbait molds here, or the jerkbait baits. We're going to pull them out slowly, lay them down, close this up, and I am going to cut these off of the sprue right here for you guys, and then I'll show you the baits. There's 1, 2, 3, and then there's 4. And then you take this and you put this back into the cup and let that melt. And then here are your jerk baits, and it has a little bit of silver, a little bit of holographic in there. It also has a little bit of green, so that's like a June bug slash pearl, white, and purple all combined. But that's how you can get baits with other colors. I like that, and you're not wasting it. So I took actually 3 plugs to make this one color. And there's the baits to show for it right there. So that's a really good color. That's a purple color with, like I said, the silver holographic glitter, silver glitter, and green glitter. There you go. So I'll put these aside. We'll let them cure, and I will show you the ribbon tails. Here is the ribbon tails, which are usually tough to get out for some reason. So we'll give them a little boom, and we will see what those look like here. And there's the ribbon tail worms. And I will take these and I will nick them off, and I will put them back in the spot there. Let me put this over here, and we'll take this sprue, nick that off, put that back in. And here are your ribbon tail worms, guys. And that is a purple worm on the lighter side, but it's still a solid color, as you can see, because I used the white. Now the pearl, it does have a little bit of pearlescent on the outside of this purple, so it really makes for a unique color. And what I do recommend, guys, is if you are making a color that you really don't know what it's going to turn out to be. I've done that before, where I've made a color and didn't know what I put in it. So what you're going to want to do is even have yourself like an ingredients book and write down what you put in there. You know, you put in a plug of the clear pearl, or the pearl with silver glitter. You know, we put in a dark purple or a June bug with green glitter, and then also a white with silver glitter and holographic. You can write that down in your book, so you know it'll be close to this color next time. You know, and then you added purple colorant to it also. But yeah, it's a good way to use up all your plastic for other baits. And that's a fish catching color there, guys. It ain't like you're making up colors just to make them up. That's a good color right there. All right, we'll be right back. Okay, so we remelted the rest of the from the other baits in this purple here, and we're going to shoot another round of baits with this purple. So we got the jerk baits going in, coming in hot, and then the ribbon tails. There's one. The other one. And fill the sprues up. And put the rest back in. And there you go. We'll be right back, guys. Okay, they're done. So we're going to take them out. We got the jerk baits in there. They shot well. Take these out, set them aside. You just got to watch pulling them out, because there is a little lip on them that gives that hook slot. Put them off to the side. Take the ribbon tails, and we will take those out also. Hope you guys can see that. There's a ribbon tail. Take this out, put that one on the side. Take this one, put that one on the side, and we'll move these over. Let me cut off the sprues on here, and we'll put them back in the cup. And let me get all these jerk baits cut out for you. There we go. Okay, so that all goes back in. So there's another set of the jerk baits. You have the tails. So they're looking good. They all shot well. So there you go. And then we also have the ribbon tail worms. They look good also. So we'll put these on the side. And then we're going to do another color here. I'm going to show you another color with another set of molds. So stay with me. Okay, so that was the purple. And that was, I got rid of 3 plugs to make one. So that's how you can combine all your plugs down. If you got too many of them, you put them together. So 3 of those plugs combined to make one, and I made some baits out of that. So I wanted to show you that. Now the next color is going to be the green with the blue, the green pumpkin with the blue flake. It's going to be the watermelon with the copper, blue, and red flake, and it's going to be the lime green with the purple. So I'm going to get rid of 3 plugs this way also, and I'll make a couple crayfish molds and one of the grass donkey molds. I'll make a bait with that to show you that. So we'll be right back. Okay, so what we have here is we have 3 different color greens. This one's the darker one. So what we're going to do is we're going to also cut up the watermelon with the copper, blue. There's a little bit of red flake in there. We're going to cut that out and put that in. We're going to take the lime green and the purple, also put that in. And this will probably take on more of the color of the darker green pumpkin here. And then we're going to cut up the green pumpkin, And we're going to put that in with the blue flake. Let me move this over so you can see. There you go. And then just cut those up, and then we'll heat this plastic up. And like I said, guys, we have 3 plugs here that we're making into one. And, you know, you can always use this plug to combine with another plug. So, and you just got to watch you're not adding too much colorant to everything. If you keep pushing it up and making more and more baits with it, eventually you're going to have to toss it. But you want to make enough baits where you only have a little bit left in the bottom, and then that's less waste for you. So let me put this in here. We're going to put it on 3 minutes, and I will show you what the color looks like here in a few seconds. Okay, so there is the green, and that looks like a really good color right there. I don't think I have to add anything to that. It's looking good. So we're going to mix this up. We're going to shoot a crawfish and a beaver bug with this. I think this looks like a really good, you can use this as a worm bait also. But I'm going to do that right now. I'll set this up and we will shoot this bait. I'm going to put this in for another 10 or 20 seconds and then we'll shoot it. So we'll be right back. Okay, well the plastic is ready to shoot. We're going to mix it up, get all that glitter in there, get it all mixed around. And we will take an injector full here. Get a full injector. And we will shoot the beaver bug. And the crayfish, the eye crawl. This crayfish is, I believe, one of the most detailed molds out there on the market today. Really cool. So we'll shoot this. And then we will fill the sprue up. For no denting, fill this sprue up, put the rest in, and we'll let this set up for a few minutes, and we will be right back with the results. Okay, well here is the beaver bug mold here, and there you can see it shot really well. I'll take that out, put this down. We're going to cut the sprue off and add it back to the cup to get remelted down, and there is your beaver bug, and that's a really cool color. It looks more like a watermelon, but it has the plastic in it from like a crawl tube, so it's got it's firm and it'll last for you. So there's that one, and then here is the eye crawfish, and you can see that right there. Let's put that right there. There's the crawfish one, the eye crawl. We're going to take that out, set that aside, cut that sprue off for you there. Put that back in the cup to be remelted down. And there, let me get this pushed out for you guys. There is the crawfish right there. So, alright, we'll be right back. Okay, so there's a few things that I want you guys to take with you from this video, and that is use up your old plugs to make other baits and make other colors. Make use of all that. You don't want to waste that plastic. There's an endless amount of color combinations you can do. You got to get creative with it. That's the beauty of bait making. Yeah, and use it up, use your imagination, use the colors to what your liking is. And there's going to be some colors, like I said before, that really don't get used or can get used but make a weird color. And don't be afraid to throw them baits. Them colors are the baits. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you're new here, I appreciate you watching. Please, if you get a chance, if you like the content, please subscribe to the channel. Share us out, make a comment. We really do appreciate that. I believe that I have something for everybody on this channel, so please browse through my channel. I'm sure there's something that will interest you. And I'd like to thank the people that are already following me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your support. Please hit that like button, share us out. We really do appreciate that. And I hope you got something from this video. And like I said, just use up your baits, use up your plastic for your baits. And there's endless combinations of that. You can add glitters, you can add more colorant. So use your baits, use your plastic up, and get everything you can out of your baits is what I want to say. It costs money to do that. And again, check out itMolds. They have all your bait making needs at a reasonable price there in the description of this video. I'd like to thank FishAngler. I'd like to thank Fishoholic. If you'd like to check out Fishoholic, it's www.fishoholic.com, and you can use OTHO for your code, and you'll get 20% off all the way up till June 15th. It's a one-time code. Get cool hats, cool gear, and things like that. I also wanted to thank all my sponsors for this month. I'd like to thank Jason from JJ Drones. I'd like to thank Dan from the Droning Veteran. I'd like to thank Carl from Chillin' in Indiana. And I'd also like to thank Brant from Fishing with Brant. And I'd also like to thank Sean from the Native Wildman. So thank you guys so much. And like I always say, take a kid fishing or hunting. We'd like to preserve that sport and pass it on to future generations. And we will see ya.